to be able to speak to you tonight. And of course, we love Brother Kenzie. He's one of our dear friends, and we admire him much. And we're glad that he's involved in this program. I want to just take a few minutes. The Life Catalyst program itself, we actually have two things. I'm just going to mention one very briefly. We have a seminary that we have developed, and we say that the seminary is for Bible knowledge, life coaching is for people knowledge. And I'll just mention a little bit about the seminary before I go on. The history of that seminary is that we developed it for really overseas, and now we've introduced it in the States, and it's very been well received, and it has a bachelor's, master's, and doctorate level. We actually have an introductory price, and I just want to mention that we would like for you, if you're interested in seeing it, you can visit us online. There's a website. It's rlwiser.wix.com/lifecatseminary. And if you want to email me and ask me any questions, my email is rlwiser@aol.com. My phone number is 630-881-0135. The others, and these two programs are sort of together because if you want to get involved in both of them, it's really cheap to do that. But the mentoring program, the life coaching mentoring program, mentoring, and life coaching is mentoring. Some people have I think sort of a skewed view of life coaching. Life coaching really is only mentoring, and if you put it into the context of church, it's really discipleship. And mentoring is really about establishing a person. It is committing to them. When you look at in a church context, you have not mentored a person, you haven't discipled a person just by witnessing to them and inviting them to church and having them sit on a church pew. It really takes more than that. It's a process, and that's what mentoring is all about. This is how you help people. This is how you affect change. So it's really committing to them. And life coaching asks the question, or mentoring, because they're interchangeable, it asks these questions. First of all, where are you? Where do you want to be? When do you want to be there? And what is stopping you? And whatever is stopping you, that is your obstacle. And really what it is it's drawing a life map for people. And in that life map, literally in this program, we have a life map that we encourage people. You run this off, and everybody that you mentor, you make sure they fill in this life map. And it just says where you are, where you want to be, that's your goal, and what's stopping you, that's your life map. This is a special model of mentoring, life coaching. It combines life coaching, mentoring with teaching. It is information. You need information to combat the obstacles in life. People who come to churches or people that are in our society today, they have a myriad of problems. They have their addiction problems, there's depression problems, there's stress problems, there's relationship problems, there's all kinds of problems that need to be dealt with. Those are obstacles. And we have within this program Life Catalyst curriculum. Life Catalyst curriculum is really a library of material. It's over 9 modules that is designed to help combat the obstacle in a person's life. The life coaching degree, which is really the skills to be able to apply the curriculum, life coaching degree program is about the person, it's about the coach. The Life Catalyst curriculum is about the problem. So we offer, first of all, a credentialing program and then a Master of Life Coaching degree in order to train a person to be able to bring about the process of change. The credentialing course, which really consists of 3 courses, the first 3 courses in the whole program, and it has within it a core course. In the core course, every concept of life coaching, mentoring is introduced in that core course, and that is followed by a workshop. And the workshop is really just the hands-on nuts and bolts of how to apply the principles of life coaching. And then that's followed by goal setting, because the two things that you need to know to be a life coach really are, you need to know how to mentor, which, because life coaching is mentoring, and you need to know how to teach. You need to know how to set goals, and you need to be able to teach goal setting. And so that is, at that point, we give a life coaching credential because you do know the fundamentals. However, most people really like to go on to the degree portion, and as Brother Kinsey mentioned, this degree it's in some universities, colleges. It's in or approved by some Bible schools and theological institutions. But anyway, as you go on, you step into some other courses that train you further. And if you look at goal setting, I think the very last part of goal setting is time management, and you need to know that. So when you go on the courses, there are two detailed courses. Every one of the courses that I'm going to mention now are each 10 hours, and there's a time management corporate and then a time management personal. Those are two different courses. And the reason why that you need two different courses in time management is because they're really under two different categories. Corporate time management, sometimes people take this training and they become consultants in business, and the thing that they consult with the most is about time management. And so they need some guidance, and they need some training in corporate time management. But the other part of that is that churches are corporations, and the personal time management principles don't apply to churches. Corporate time management does. It applies. So that's why it's good to have that training and then be able to pass that on to others. And then personal time management, because in goal setting, a person needs to understand time management very, very much, personal time management. And sometimes that's the obstacle in their life that has to be removed. But then we go into a course in mentoring, a full 10-hour course in mentoring. And it's been my experience that people recognize, society recognizes that mentoring is a powerful tool, but a lot of people really do not know what mentoring entails. And so I think it's good, it's very wise. If you're interested in this whole avenue of mentoring, you need to understand what mentoring is. So this course talks about what to look for in a mentor, and then how to be a mentor. And then there's a course in illustrating, which you need that because you need to be able to set a tone, or you're able to set a state, we call it, for people that make them more receptive. And you do that with stories and illustrations and metaphors and things like that. It's also good for use in anger management. We have a course in here on consulting that trains you in the fact that life coaching is legally, it is consulting, and you need to know why those two are linked together. There's a course on desire and attitude, because if a person doesn't have the desire to change, they will not change. So desire is first, and attitude a lot of times is the thing that blocks us from really attaining our goal. There's a course on self-talk, because self-talk is so important to be able to dispel somebody's vision of themselves, their what we would call their belief system, not religious belief, but belief about themselves. Most of the time it's wrong. It's based on input through their life, and a lot of it negative. Then you need to teach how to talk. You need to teach people how to talk to themselves and be their own motivational speaker, and that's a very biblical thing, very biblical. Then there's a course on communication, because it's very important that you get it across to people when you're dealing with them that you're on their side. You're not their enemy. You want to help them. That's your only motive. And then there's a course that ties everything together and really gets into every avenue, and that it's called the process of change, and it takes the whole process. Now, the process of bringing change, it is really a process that leads to a goal. And the goal that we're going toward is rapport, which is the threshold of trust. And what we're really shooting for is trust. Trust, when you reach a state of trust with someone, and you do it by a process, and that's why this is so powerful. It's a very powerful process because it leads somewhere. It leads to trust. When a person trusts you, you reach that state of trust. That's when real change comes in their life. That's when you really have input. That's kind of the culmination, you might say, of discipleship. That's really the end result of soul winning. It is that relationship. Trust is built on a relationship. There are 3 R's that are associated with change. People who won't change unless they recognize their need to change. People won't change unless they're ready to change. And people will not change unless there's they have meaningful relationships. Meaningful relationships, that's up to us. They have to recognize, they have to be ready, but the relationship is what we provide, and that is mentoring. Mentoring is building a relationship, and the goal is really trust. And when trust is established, and that's what you're trying to do, you really want to reach that place where you have established trust, and that trust goes all through everything. It comes back through the church. You know, when people trust me, if I'm the mentor, they trust me, then they trust the church, and they trust the pastor. It goes all the way through, and trust is something that really we need to build, and this is the right way to build it. This is at the right source. So when trust is established, that's when change can come. And what this is really a chain that leads to trust, and that's when you make changes. I want you, if you would, you can go to our website, and I don't have time to get into the nitty-gritty in these few minutes of all of this. There's so much information, but if you go to the website, lifecatalyst.org, lifecatalyst.org, there's a lot of information, and again, you can email me, rlweiser, rlwyscr@aol.com, and also my phone number is 630-881-0135. And I want to just say too that you can, if you're interested, you can talk about it, you can make your church a campus by franchise. You can make it a learning campus by a franchise, real-time classes and distance learning, and where you're supplied with a complete curriculum for both of these things, both degrees, and there's never a charge for textbooks. All these things are supplied electronically, but we're doing this across the country. There are churches. In fact, if you go on our website, you'll read some of that information in there. We're doing that, and you can make your area a learning center, and I think it can be a real blessing to your church. That's a whole another aspect. So anyway, I do appreciate the time that Brother Kinsey allowed me to have here on this. I'm glad for the input, and I appreciate. I wish I could meet all y'all, see all of y'all. It's kind of funny to speak to a camera and a screen, but anyway, I look forward to maybe talking to you, meeting you later.